Hello, welcome to Thrive in 2025 Vision Board Workshop. Welcome, welcome, welcome. For those of you who are new to our world, I'm Crystal Laura Cruz with Cruz Beyond Limits. We got my background backdrop here, and I'm super excited to end this year off right. Because what we're going to do today, if you've been in one of my Vision Board workshops before, we go through the 8 pillars of our life. And we're navigating and balancing so much, especially after the holiday season. There's a lot of stressors and pressures. And what I have found amidst all the stressors and pressures that I've been through, especially in the last year, if we don't close the chapter, open the book, and think about how we get to design our life and reflect on all of the things that we have endured and been through and grown through and learned and all the blessings and the stressors and the pressures that we've been through in the last year. Before we start to set goals, I really want us to sink in how this year went with no judgment. Okay. So you can come at just as you are here today. We're just going to spend some time. It might be a little bit messy. We're not all about the pretty pictures and like the perfect, vision board that looks nice on the wall yet. Right now, we're going to get messy. It's going to be a little bit ugly. We're going to unpeel some of the layers. And I want you to come just as you are, bra, no bra, have your Java. So I'm getting some looks, bra, no bra. Yes, just as you are. Okay. So comfy, cozy, grab your Java or your water, a notebook, positive attitude, open mind, and a willingness to show up no matter what for yourself, your mental and your physical well-being so that we can thrive in 2025. Yes or yes? Who's with me?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Awesome. So I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to walk you through a series of slides just so that we stay on track. Like I said, we are going to take a break at the top of the hour. So stick with me. And we're going to have some fun here today. Remember, results are fun. All right. So hopefully you all can see my screen. I am trying to, let's see, from current slide. All right. Can you see the slides? Yes. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So Thrive in 2025. This is what a vision board could look like. Okay. So I'm going to give you a couple options of how we can make yours come alive after today. But here's one simple, like that's what a lot of people think about when we think about a vision board, right? So it might be pretty pictures, it might be big words, it could be organized or not. All right. This is all about you, and you get to design the life that you desire. Okay. So there's not a lot of rules. Okay. So when I want you to throw out the rule book, throw out the expectations, and we're going to have some fun here today. Maybe if I can get the slides to forward. There we go. All right. So schedule of events. I want to do a quick introduction to Vision Board. We're going to do some success planning. And at the end, I want to just open it up for some sharing and ways that we can offer support and accountability after today. So why a Vision Board workshop? So number one, we need to train our brain. Okay. So we are today years old. So how old are you today? I am 29 and holding forever and ever and ever. Okay. So what our brain has been through is a series of thoughts, dreams, reactions, adversity, experiences, right? And so our brain has been conditioned for however many years you've been on this planet living this beautiful thing called life. And so what happens is our brain gets in this cycle. All right. And so we can stay in this cycle or we can choose to change that cycle. All right. And so if you have accomplished all that you have dreamed of in your however today years old that you are, 29 and holding forever and ever, and you've accomplished everything that you possibly could, then you had already been there. All right. And so what happens is we have some conditions and we have some thoughts that pretty much take over our well being. All right. So we need to retrain our brain to focus on what it is that we really do desire. So, what we're spending this time on in this vision board workshop is really a reflection exercise to retrain and refocus and re energize our brain to say, hey, brain, you want this. Because guess what? What you're going to put on these pages here today, or your whiteboard, or your notebook, or a post-it note, whatever it is that you're drawing on today, These are your thoughts. These are your dreams, your emotions that are spilling out of you, and they are meant for you. But so often we talk ourselves out of it. All right. So I really want you to train your brain to say, hey, brain, this is what we're going to focus on in 2025. You are meant for this. We are made for more, and we're going after it. So we're going to look at it. We're going to write it down today, sink it into our being. We're going to see it, to believe it, to achieve it. Yes or yes? I want you to re-say that. We're going to see it, to believe it, to achieve it. Okay. So we have to train our brain to see it, to believe it, to achieve it. The stages I've been on, the 5 books I have published, the 26 marathons, the 50-mile race, all of these big milestones that I have accomplished in my life, 29 years on this planet. I have seen it, I have believed it, and that's how I was able to achieve it. And you are no different. So everything that is in your brain, we are going to see it, to believe it, to achieve it. And that brings us to visualization. Every single marathon, I decided that my hand was going to be up in the air and a smile was going to be on my face. I decided before I even started the race how I was going to finish it, and I visualized it. And a vision is really versus a dream, right? So you can have a dream, but we're going to make our dreams into reality by really visualizing how we're going to accomplish it and sinking it into our being. So a dream is like, oh, I would love $1 million someday, or I could dream to live on a beach someday. A vision is, I am on a mission to help empower every person on the planet put themselves and their health first for 34 minutes a day, so we can reduce the stress and overwhelm of life and live a more fulfilling life. That is an actionable mission and a vision that we can set actions to. Okay. So I don't want us to just dream and say, pie in the sky, maybe someday. No, like, I want you to be so dialed in and so focused on your vision for your life, no one else's. So that means we're going to have small, actionable steps that we're going to be able to accomplish to be able to gain the momentum and the motivation and the evidence that you are a beautiful snowflake and you are like no other snowflake out there. And you have your own thoughts, your own dreams, your own emotions, your own experiences. And what can you do with what you've got to put your own creation out to the world? No one else's. All right. So this is what we're going to do today, is let our dreams come alive. We're going to put them on paper. We're going to talk about them. And it may not be in the next 6 to 12 months, but I want you to really, really focus on what it is that you truly desire. Because I promise you one thing, tomorrow is not promised. And so often we spend so much time worrying about the future and obsessing about the past in regret and shame and blame and overwhelm and guilt. And we rob ourselves of the present. And so when we're too much focused in the future and worrying so much about the past, we rob ourselves of the present. So today is your gift. And I want you to give yourself the gift of your own dreams, your emotions, and make your life come alive. Okay. All right, so here's my contact information. Y'all got me. Y'all are connected. But if you are catching this on replay, here's my contact information, my personal cell phone number. Please reach out. I value connection, and I really want to support you and help you. If you do have a business, I do this vision board workshop every quarter, once a quarter, so you can apply to be featured and sponsor this workshop at the next quarter, which is going to be at the end of March. So contact me. We can talk about what that looks like. All right, so here's the success model. So feel free to take a screenshot and post this and put this on Instagram, share this with your loved ones, with your network, because this success model, I didn't make this up. This isn't, this, don't quote me per se, but I have used this so many times amidst adversity. Okay. So success, for those of you who don't know, I just retired from the military after 22 years in the United States Air Force in April of 2024. And in the military, we love acronyms. So acronyms, we take a word and we break it apart and we say, okay, what does this word mean? So success, the acronym of success says, the first S is set a goal. So we're going to set some goals today. You understand the obstacles. Everything that you have achieved, I want you to think about everything that you have achieved. You had an obstacle that you had to overcome. There was stress. There was something in your life that got in the way and you overcame it to achieve the dang thing. And if you think about every movie that you ever watched, there was a crisis, was there not? There was a crossroad, was there not? There was something that broke them, and then they overcame that, and that became the apex or like the climax of the movie. And then they're like, happy ending. Yes, we all made it. They made it. Just like you have lived the apex, the challenge, the obstacle of everything that you've gone through and everything that you're proud of. There was something that got in your way. There was an obstacle. So the more that we can understand and embrace that when the obstacles come, you want to go after something, you want to lose 10 pounds, you want to start that business, you want to be that author, you want to be that speaker, you want to host retreats like me, you want to be an online entrepreneur like me, there's going to be some obstacles. And the more that you understand that they're going to be coming, you're going to be like, ah, there you are. I'll see you. All right. And we're going to get over that hump and achieve the success that we desire. Okay. So we're going to embrace the obstacles. We are going to create a positive mental picture. I'll tell you, the last retreat that I did for 120 female veterans in September of 2024 was a dream come true. And I'll tell you, back in 2019, when I almost like literally threw in the towel of life, I just got diagnosed with cancer. I was literally, business was almost done. And I was like, okay, I went on this, I went to this retreat, this entrepreneur business building retreat. I was like, this is the last straw. I'm gonna do this. And I did an Instagram contest, and I'll show you there's a picture later on, but I'll just tell you the story here real quick. I did an Instagram contest, and they said, I want you to take a selfie, post it on Instagram right now of what your dream is. And I said, I want to host a retreat for female veterans, and I want to hire and have other female veterans and military spouses there on my team to support me. And I posted my very first picture and my very first selfie on Instagram, and my stomach was in my throat. I was like, I can't believe I'm doing this. I have no idea what I'm doing, but this is my dream. And I created that mental picture, and I won the contest. And in 2024, literally, 5 years later, it happened. And I had created that positive mental picture in my being of like, when I stepped on that stage, I was already there 10,000 times over again. So when I stepped on there, everyone's like, how are you so comfortable? It's because I had already been there in my being. I already knew I belonged on that stage. So when all of the opportunities came, when opportunity knocked, I was like, this is meant for me. Yes, and more people, and more of my beautiful Crispy Unlimited dream team that was there. That was a dream come true. All right. So create that positive mental picture. I'm telling you, this works when you do this work. And you need to clear your mind of any self-doubt. So any negative Nancy's, whatever she's called, whatever his name is, her name is, we need to kick her out, kick him out. Because when you go after something, all of that self-doubt is going to creep in. All the things that are telling you that you're not good enough, that you shouldn't go after that, and you're not pretty enough, you're not popular enough, or guess what? You've had a tough year. People aren't going to follow you. Yeah, wrong, lies. Okay. So clear your mind of self-doubt, embrace the challenge, go after it, stay on track. And we have some tools to give you to stay on track and help deliver some habits and some accountability. And the last S is show the world you can do it. It's called the ripple effect of your leadership, of you showing up powerfully, unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable. Keep showing others what's possible. All right. So that's your success model. And then the next action that I want you to take to thrive in 2025 is another acronym, is Thrive. And then we're going to get started. So the T stands for take action. So we're going to move forward with purpose and determination. So how do you thrive in 2025? We need to take action, actionable steps. And we're going to come up with some of those actionable steps here today. H stands for harness your strength. I want you to tap in to your resilience, your experience, your inner power, and everything that you have struggled through, everything that you have grown through this year. I'll tell you that is probably a good indicator of the resilience and in your inner power and your strength that you're able to share and help others with. I'll tell you, I never thought I would be a relationship and a divorce. That word divorce would ever be in my vocabulary. But here I am, I'm helping so many people, so many spouses, so many people that are struggling in their marriages, in their relationships, helping them thrive and feel like they have another chance at life and helping them in the season of change, in this transition. So that's a strength of mine. Something that was one of the hardest things. I've been through a lot in my years, but the last year has been I've been so resilient and tapping into my strength and my gifts. So you never know what's possible. So harness your strength and lean into it. And we're going to reflect daily. Now we have the vision or the Crystal Clear Life Planner. So if you don't have access to the 90-day action plan to embrace chaos and live a fulfilling life, you can get your copy, crystalloracruz.com/planner. It will take you to the Amazon link and you can get your access. And actually in the beginning, we go through the vision board workshop, the original model. Okay. So reflect daily so we can learn and grow from our own experience daily. So the I stands for inspire others. So we're going to lead by example and show others what's possible. So how do we thrive in 2025? We take action. We harness our strength. We reflect daily. We inspire others. V stands for value growth. We're going to embrace the challenge and the opportunities to improve. So every single action, every single relationship, every single challenge is an opportunity for us to learn and grow. If someone is triggering us, when there's tension, pay attention. When something is bothering us, it means there's something that's within you that you have not healed yet, that you have not looked in the mirror and thought about, okay, what is actually happening right now? So if someone's bothering you right now, what about you has not healed yet? It's a tough one. Okay. And then E, elevate your mindset. So we're going to stay focused. We're going to stay positive and unstoppable. So how do we do this? We got to protect our peace. So we got to set boundaries, and that's a whole nother course. So if you want access to that course, how to elevate your mindset, we actually have the next academy cohort, the $1 Million Body Academy. It's really the $1 Million Mindset Academy. And I've thought about changing the title of it many times, but it helps us be unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable, to set boundaries, to have more confidence, to really be able to thrive in life. So if you need more support in this area and you want an accountability in a small cohort, it's 12 people max. We're starting on January 20th. All right, so Thrive in 2025. I want you to pick one sentence mantra that you're going to be able to take action, harness your strength, reflect daily, inspire others, value growth, elevate your mindset. And when life gets thrown at you, because it will, I want you to think of your one sentence mantra that's going to keep you going, keep you thriving in 2025 so that you can continue to take action no matter what. So what's one sentence that you can say to yourself when life gets thrown at you? You're like, what is this? What is the one sentence? And if anybody's read The Road to Resilience, 5 Ways to Have Courageous Confidence in Seasons of Change, every single chapter ends with my one sentence mantra. Does anybody knows what it is? Anybody here? Do you know what it is? I'm going to keep going like my life depends on it, because it does. I'm going to keep going like my life depends on it, because it does. And I was running this morning and I was saying that because I had a run and it's freaking cold here in Buffalo, New York. Tomorrow I'll be back on the beach by 2 p.m. in Puerto Rico. But for now, like every single step, I'm like, I'm going to keep going like my future life depends on it, because it does. And now, y'all, I got into the Tokyo Marathon. For those of you who don't know, I'm running the 6 world marathon majors, and I've run Boston, New York, Chicago, Berlin, Tokyo, and London are the last 2. I just got into Tokyo. And Tokyo Marathon is not going to run itself in March of 2025. So what I said today, as I was lacing up, as I said, that marathon is not going to run itself, and I'm going to run like my future self depends on it, because it does. Because when I arrive at that starting line, I want to thrive across that finish line with that smile. So it's going to take the hard action right now So when I didn't want to lace up, when I wanted to sleep in, I said, I'm going to keep going like my future self depends on it because it does. And it got me out there. So what is your one sentence mantra that's going to get you out there and keep lacing up no matter what? All right. So when we think about our vision board and all of our um, things that we're going to accomplish in 2025 and the things that we want to focus on, I don't want to just focus on things or the places you want to go to or the dream house or the the bathroom that you want to renovate. I want you to really think about, how do you want to feel? What are the emotions that come up when you accomplish that thing, when you do that thing, when you step on that stage, when you're consistent, when you lose the 10 pounds, when you actually accomplish every single workout that you said you were going to? That's an inner trust. That's an inner being. That's confident. That's vibrant. That's alive. That's thriving. These are the feelings that we want to step in, not just the thing. It's the emotion when you do the thing. Okay, so I really want you to think about it. All right. So I want you to think about, you get to decide your rules. So I want you to say, okay, in 2025, this is a perfect time to say, all right, these are the things that I want to focus on and accomplish in 2025. Or you can do 6 months. You can do for the next 3 months. We do this same vision board workshop every 3 months. And guess what? We do it over and over and over again. Yes, we do, because sometimes our goals change. Sometimes we got to pivot and life be lifing. Okay. So, yes, we do this activity every 3 months. And yes, it's the same every 3 months because we need to refocus and re energize so we could thrive again and not just survive. If we're just going through the motions and just going through life and every single day is like Groundhog Day, we got to re-energize. We got to revive so we can thrive. Speaking of which, the Revive and Thrive retreat is coming up in April in Puerto Rico. So that's why this is all a system. All right. And this work works when you do the work. And many of you have been here several times before. And I do this too. Every single month, I do the same activity to revive and thrive my goals. And that's how I create the momentum. So think about, is it the next month that you want to focus on? Maybe it's the next week. Maybe you're really in survival mode and you're like, Crystal, I just need the next week. All right. And that's okay. Trust me, I've been there. Maybe it's the next hour, right? But you get to decide, what do you want to, what timeline do you want to focus on? So maybe it's the next week, maybe it's the next day, maybe it's the next month, maybe it's the next year. But I would say between the next month, the next 3 months, and the next year is what I want you to focus on for today. All right. So before we begin, I want us to do our success inventory for 2024. Okay. So I want you to think about 1 to 3 things that you've accomplished this year. All right. So what are you proud of? And I want to give you a couple minutes to really map this out. Okay. So what are you proud of? What have you accomplished? Feel free to go through your pictures in your phone. Go through your social media right now. I'm going to give you about 5 minutes to do this. And I really want you to map this out. And I did this last week for myself, and it was so powerful. So I really want you to think, what have you accomplished this year? What are you proud of? What were your successes? What were your challenges that you overcame? And when you're done with that, I want you to think about one big lesson that you learned and what your value intention word is for 2025 to thrive in 2025. And there are some words on the screen here if you need some help. But make up your own. This is you. This is all about you right now. So I'm going to give you about 5 minutes. So go through, and I'm going to read mine to myself, to remind myself and see if I missed anything. Let me know if you have any questions. And I want you to think of a minimum of 1 to 3 things. But if you have more, just keep writing. 2024 in review. What is your success? Good. I'll give you about 2 more minutes. Write down as much as you what comes to your mind. What did you accomplish? What are you proud of? What were the best memories of 2024? And if you have like 40 things like me, I want you to go through, take a highlighter, circle, star your top three. Okay, so I really want you to focus on your top three things that happened this year. Narrow it down because I went every single month. I went through all my pictures on my phone from January all the way to December. And it was really, really powerful to see all of these memories. And how cool is it that we spend this time to reflect and sink it into our nervous system, sink it into our core memories. Eliana and I were watching Inside Out the other day. If you have never seen Inside Out, it's a kids movie, but it's all about how our emotions and our core memories shape our experience, our lived experience in the lens in which we see the world and how we can change those, right? And how we can create more core memories. So we're sinking this into our core memory bank by spending some time today. And you are giving yourself the best gift of time and presence in everything that you have accomplished so far this year. So if you give you about 1 more minute to finish up. And remember, it doesn't have to be perfect, but I'd love for you to pick your top three things. And I'm going to share mine, and I want to go around the room, and I want to hear 1 to 3 things that you are proud of that you've accomplished this year. And also, if you want to think about if you did have a word for 2024, I want you to think about what your word was for 2024 and how did we do? Did you live in that word and in that intention? If not, no judgment. We're going to create our word for 2025. So we might not create a new word. We might want to sink into the old word from 2024 too, right? Or add a new one. So think about that. We're going to reflect in just a moment. Okay, so I want to open it up to the group here. For those, we do have a lot of people here in real life by RL. So we have Kelly, Cynthia, Eliana, and Emma here sitting at the table with me in person. And then we do have a couple people that are catching this on replay, and we have a couple people here in Zoom. So feel free to post in the comments or unmute yourself. I'd love to hear from you. We'll go to the Zoom people first. So Darlin or Aaron, if you want to share 1 to 3 things that you've accomplished this year, I'd love to hear from you, celebrate you.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay. Hi.
Hi, everyone. So this year, my top three was that the first one was that I invested in myself and went to the Puerto Rico book retreat and with Crystal R. Cruz and Marcus Black. And so that investment, I'm writing my book and I'm also getting my speech, mastering my speech. It's coming up. I have to fit, there's an order. The second thing I'm celebrating my children. I have four children, so that list is a little long, but my eldest has been maintaining what she needed to do. So she's her consistency. My second born, he got his first car and his first apartment this year. My third child, she has her first job and she got her learner's permit this year. And my last child, he's grown 5 inches. He's only 11 years old this year, and he got second place in basketball. So we're just I'm proud of his consistency and continuous growth. And then my third is joining the Cruise Beyond Limits Dream Team. It's such a blessing, and just learning a lot and just having the community. And it's a big piece that I'm just grateful for.
Outstanding. Celebrating you so much. Thank you so much for sharing. And I'm so proud of you and honored to have you on the team. And I cannot wait to see you thrive in 2025. Do you have your word for 2025?
I didn't get there.
Okay, that's okay. All right. Erin, are you
Thank
free
you.
to share? Thank you. Erin, are you there? Are you free to share?
I'm not able to, I can share one thing, one um, celebration from last year was going on that speaking on the cruise that I met you on. That was so fun, and that was really incredible experience, and yeah, a real celebration for this year. So it was awesome.
Yeah. We had some beautiful memories and great connection. I'm so, so grateful to have you here. And I know it's been a year of resilience and strength and endurance, and just sending you so much love and healing. And we are going to thrive in 2025. So
Yeah,
thank you so much for being here and
thank
celebrating.
you.
So many great memories and so many more to be had. So thank you, ladies, for sharing. I want to open it up to those of you who are here in real life. Anyone want to share?
I'll share.
Yeah.
Can I come over there?
Yeah, come on over. Yeah, I want everyone to be able to hear. So,
Okay. Hello, everyone. Good morning. Okay, so I have quite a few things. So I'm gonna pick out my three.
top three,
Okay.
1 to 3.
So let's see. Well, I traveled to Puerto Rico 3 times, which I think that's a success.
Yep.
I've made beautiful memories, especially Christmas for my family this year. I worked hard in my work to help the company sell off the majority of the properties. And I've stayed real strong throughout the pain of my children's heartaches. And those are my success stories.
Got it.
And I became a member of the Dream Team with Cruise Beyond Limits, which was excellent. My word for 2024 was scared and unsettled. But 2025, my word is to be calm and determined. Is that good?
I love it. Thank you.
Okay,
Love
thank
you.
you. Cynthia?
Anybody else want to come next?
Sure. Okay. What's your next person?
Hello, beautiful.
Welcome.
Hi, ladies.
You too.
Okay, so my three things for 2024 was that I flew to Puerto Rico twice by myself. I completed 2 5Ks in which I shaved 11 minutes off of my second one. And I started going back to church, and I have a fourth one, and I opened myself up more. My big lesson that I've learned is that I'm capable and I can do anything that I set my mind to. And my value word for 2025 is confidence.
I love that. Thank you. Come on over. So my mini me, Eliana, one of them. All right, you want to say hi?
So,
Should speak up.
what things I accomplished this year is being nice to my sister, better on my test, and getting more grateful.
Woo!
And my presents for 2000. 2025 is helpful.
Helpful. I love that.
And
Thank you.
go.
You want to go?
No, I put it together. No. No, I doubled it and it's last person.
You sure?
Did say, tell Anthony your word for 2025.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I can
So
do
we
it.
have a spokesperson for Emma.
Okay. So she has accomplished getting her grades up, focusing in school, a good girl, honor roll, something.
Honor roll.
No missing work, went out of my comfort bubble.
Comfort bubble. Okay. I love that.
Good job.
And what do you have a word for 2025?
Productive.
Productive. Ooh, that's a good one. She got good. Oh, thank God. This is a family show. Okay. So, I'll just share mine real quick too. I'm super proud. My year word was it was a phrase, no expectations. So really just being present in the day and every opportunity being a gift and having the presence of today, not worrying so much about the future and what that holds or being regretful or shameful of the past because this last year was one of the hardest seasons of my entire life. So no expectations was my 2024 mantra. And so what I did was I retired from the Air Force after 22 years. I joined when I was 2, remember 29 and holding forever. I hosted, I think I shared some of these already. I hosted the biggest retreat I've ever literally dreamed come true. Flew the whole team into Buffalo, New York, 120 female veterans, my incredible dream team, all in person for the first time ever. And it was the most beautiful experience. And it was such a beautiful moment and weekend for me. And Cruise Beyond Limits, it was huge, pivotal. And then just actually a couple weeks ago, I got baptized. And that was another beautiful moment of this year. Really just surrendering and just really growing in my faith and my relationship with God. And so I'm really excited to take on and thrive in 2025 in my faith even more. So I didn't come up with my word yet. I think what my second word for 2024 was freedom. So I think I'm going to take freedom into 2025. Yes, yes, and yes, but it's a focus, right? So there's certain freedom that we want to feel. Like a lot of times our confidence is really freedom, right? It's freedom, financial freedom, it's faith, it's decision making, it's where freedom of choice, freedom of speech, freedom of where you live, freedom from relationships or other people's opinions or old patterns or old mindset, right? So that freedom is that I'm shedding and shredding a lot of things from 2024. So really freedom, I think is really gonna be my focus word for 2025. Okay. So thank you for letting me share. I want to move on. Be conscious of the time. We're going to take a break in about 12 minutes. If you haven't come up with your value or your intention word for 2025, just definitely think about this in the next couple of days because I really want to hear from you. I want to make sure that we start with that intention so that all of our actions follow through with that intention. What we're doing is we're sinking into our being. If you hear of alignment and really freedom, right? That confidence and that freedom. And when you think about thriving, not surviving, that is sinking into our being and being in alignment of our dreams, our emotions, our thoughts, our actions, our beliefs, and everything is in sync, right? So that is what gives us groundedness. That's what gives us confidence. That's what helps us, gives us the freedom so that we feel like we're thriving. Because we're all in this deep alignment of who we want to be, what we want to achieve, what we believe, what we actually do, how we follow through, right? That's the alignment. And people are always like, Crystal, where do you get all this energy from? How are you so confident? How do you have this like you have this way about you? When you walk into a room, it just lights up. It's because I'm constantly focused on how to be more in alignment of my truth, my true authentic self. And that is true freedom. What you see is what you get. Yes, I'm here in real life. I'm the same place. I'm the same person in real life as I am on the internet. Right. And I'm consistent every single day and I keep showing up no matter what. Like my life depends on it because it does. Right. And so the more that you can be in alignment of your truth, your authentic self, your being true to you, that's when you're going to thrive. That's when you're not going to be in survival anymore because we're saying no to the things that don't serve us and we're saying heck yes to us, your truth, your being, your dreams, your reality, your focus, a stronger, more powerful, more positive, unstoppable, unshakable, unbreakable version of you. Yes or yes?
Yes.
Yes. Good. All right. So how do we do it? I'm going to give you a brief overview and then we're going to take a break and then we're going to dive into these in a little bit more. So we're going to ask ourselves the same 4 questions for every single pillar of our life. Now, next vision board, I'm going to have a circle. So basically, if you were to think about these pillars of your life as a wheel of your life, what area of your life is kind of like needing a little air in the tire, right? So if you were to have all of these as like your energy pie, like we have energy pie, right? So we start with 100%, or maybe we start with 80% at the start of the day. But all of these pieces of the pie, we're navigating at any given time. So our health and fitness, our relationships, our career or our business, our social and leisure, our personal development, how we're learning and growing, our quality of life or our reputation, our spirituality or our faith or our values, and our finances. These are all things that we're juggling and life be life in. We're always being challenged and pulled in 10,000 different directions. But what your being, your vehicle, your body is the only body that carries all of your unique pillars. No one else is carrying that for you. You are carrying this load every single day of all 8 of these pillars of your life. And so if we're not intentional and planting seeds in every single area slightly and being curious and asking questions and giving ourselves some love in these areas, pumping some air in those tires in these areas, then we're going to feel depleted. We're going to feel lost. We're going to feel overwhelmed. We're going to feel depressed. We're going to feel blame and shame and overwhelm and guilt. And we're going to start eating our feelings and doing things that other people want us to do just because we want to make them happy and we think that's going to make us happy, but then we deplete ourselves of everything that we really want to do. Ask me how I know. So we want to make sure we're intentional with the pillars of our life. So these are the 8. Okay, so we're going to ask ourselves the same questions in every single area. So, and then it's going to be like, it's going to feel like a lot. It's going to feel a little overwhelming. So I want you to embrace the challenge. Remember the success model. Anything that is worth going after is going to feel a little, you're going to feel some resistance. And when you face the obstacles, when you see that there are going to be challenges and you are going to overcome them, you are going to create a positive mental image. We're going to get rid of the negative Nellies and the self-doubt. And we're going to show the world we can do it and prove it to ourselves that we are made for more. All right. So recognize when there's tension, pay attention. Where is it coming from? And keep going, because if there's something in your heart and in your being that you want to accomplish, you get to design the life that you desire. Okay. So here's the 4 questions. We're going to score ourselves in each area of our life. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category? So you're going to have the 8 different pillars, starting with the health and fitness. We're going to say, how happy are you in this category? So you get to make the rules. 1 can be the happiest or 10 can be the happiest, but make sure you're consistent across all of them so that you know, for me, 10 is the happiest. When you got a 10, that 10 is the happiest you are in this category, and 1 is the least happy you are in this category. So far, we're drawing a line in the sand of, okay, how are we doing right now where we're at today? No judgment. We're here to just check the engine, check the oil, open up the hood of your vehicle and say, how's it going? We're pulled over on the side of the road right now. We are pausing for the cause. We are here doing the hard work. We're checking our oil, checking our engine. We're giving ourselves a whole refresh. All right. And PSA, if your car needs a detail, it needs a little refresh, it needs a little TLC, it needs a little cleaning out, you needs the oil check, you need to top off the oil. Do that for your car too. Do that for your house too. And we do this for our life too. You get the mammogram, you get the annual checkup, you get the dental cleaning every 6 months. We do this every 3 months for our life too. Yes. I had to do that this year because I'm 29, right? Or a little early. I got my first smashing experience. Gosh. All right. I got to do that because I'm wiser. Okay. That's number one. Number two, no judgment here. Okay. Remember, we're just checking the oil. Number two, what is your top desire for this category, for this area of your life? So, what is one thing that you want to accomplish in this area? What is one thing you can focus on? So, remember, we're planting seeds in all of these 8 categories. And if you plant seeds, it's not like massive overhauls tomorrow or on January 1st, right? It's like, what are the small needle making moves that you can plant seeds in each of these areas to make you fill your cup in this area? Okay, so it doesn't have to be this grand thing. It can just mean like, I'm going to bed by 10, or I'm going to read once a day. And we'll go through some ideas in each of the category. All right, but it can be small needle making moves, right? It doesn't have to be big things. Number 3, how would this achieving this make you feel? Remember, we want to sink into the emotion, not just the thing. We want to be deeper. Okay, so we want to bring depth to our conversations, depth to the dinner table. All right, so I want you to think about, what is the emotion when you accomplish that? What does that mean for your life? So I want you to think about the reaction to the action that you're going to take. So I want you to think deeper. The second and third order effects. So like if you have children or grandchildren, how are you going to feel when you show up for you? How are they going to feel? What is the impact that this has on your life? And when we have a deeper why and a deeper meaning, and it's almost like a carrot, because it brings depth to why you want to show up daily, no matter what, like your life depends on it, because it does, because you have depth and you've already sunk it in of why you want to achieve this. And you want to tie it to the emotions so that you can keep going. And then how will you take action to achieve what you desire? So now we want to create an action step. So what's one small thing you can do? And that can be www.google.com or youtube.com or crystalorcruz.com, right? So what's one action you can take? And I want you to decide, you already decided, are you working for the next month, next 3 months, next 6 months, or next year? The action that I want you to take has to be in the next week. So I want you to make sure that you're taking action, one small action in the next 7 days of your life that is going to plant the seed or create some momentum in that area. Okay. So I want you to think about, what actually can you do? And it might mean having a conversation. It might mean asking for help. It might mean booking a call with me so we can strategize. It might mean calling your friend or sister, or going on Instacart and ordering your groceries. Like, what is one thing that is going to relieve some stress and plant some seeds? So that's what I want you to think about in each area. All right, we have a couple more minutes before we begin the actual messy part, but I want to give you a couple more examples of what this could look like. So it can be pictures, words, you can organize it. And I'll share with you this Cruise Vision 2020. This is when I first started doing vision boards. Like I said, I had cancer in 2019. I had to re-energize and refocus because I was in survival mode. And so I created this, I had this whiteboard on my refrigerator. And I did this first for me. And I took a couple vision board classes, and then I did one with my husband, soon to be ex. And this was the Cruise Vision. And so what I did was I mapped out the 8 pillars. So as you can see, health and fitness, career and work, relationships, quality of life, personal development, spirituality, leisure and social life, and finances. So it's messy. As you can see, that looked messy. And I just separated the page. So that's what I would recommend, that you start there, separate your page, or have one page in your notebook for each category, and just write down the messiness. And I still have this up there because this is where I began. All right. And so I never want you to think about, I never want you to stop going back to where you began. And today we are marking today's, what is this? The December 28th of 2024. You're marking into your notebook of what your thoughts, your dreams, what your reality was today. And you get to look back at that someday when you accomplish it because you've manifested it and you've spent the time on you and your dreams and making them come reality and creating the momentum and the support and the accountability and investing in you and the next level version of you. And you're going to go after it and you get to come back to this. And I'm so proud that I get to come back to this Cruise Beyond Limits Vision in 2020. And I've helped so many couples. I've helped organizations, teams. I travel around and do these workshops for organizations and virtually. I just got a call yesterday. They saw my post about the vision board workshop. They're like, can you come to my company and do that for my employees? I'm like, yes. So next week I'm going to be doing it. So pretty cool. So just so you know, I do a lot of leadership workshops and I have a whole curriculum of a lot of different team building, personality testing, emotional intelligence, goal setting, wellness, fitness, you name it. So if you have someone in your life or you know a business owner or a decision maker that needs some of this in their business or in your team or in your company, let me know. I would love to support any of your friends and family, anybody that you know. But this work works when you do the work. All right. And so we're here to map it out. And so that's what it could look like after today. So I do want to take a quick break. So I want to take a 5-minute, bathroom break, coffee break, reset. I want you to do a dance party, whatever. I want you to come back at 6 minutes after the hour. And so we're going to take 5 minutes and then we're going to get into the 8 pillars. And then we're actually going to do something new that we've never done before. I want to do some Thrive. I want to do a 5 to Thrive action step at the end. Okay, so we're going to go through. We're going to come back in 5 minutes. We're probably going to spend about 20-30 minutes on mapping out exactly what we want to do in each of these categories of our life. And then we're going to come up with our 5 to Thrive action steps and really have a good focus for 2025. All right, so I'll see you at 6 minutes after the hour. Quick break and we'll come back. We'll see you soon. Okay, welcome back. Hopefully y'all had a great quick break. And sometimes when we go to the bathroom, we have bathroom moments or shower moments. Has anybody had any reflections or bathroom or shower moments from our first half that you want to share? Okay, this is a family show. Someone had a very good bathroom moment here in real life. Anybody else have any reflections that you want to share?
What's a strange question?
No? Okay, anybody here in Zoom have any reflections? Any aha moments that you want to share? Eliana, do you have something you want to share?
Wait, what?
Just something from the first half of the clip so far.
We've done a lot.
I know you wrote down. There was one thing that you missed, right? That you shared with me on the break that you wanted to improve this year.
Oh, yeah, public speaking.
She wants to improve her public speaking. Now she's 9. She's amazing. And we talked. Yes, excited. Thank you. All right. So she's gonna be 10. I know, me too. I'm gonna be 10 in 8 months. All right, so we're gonna move on. So we're gonna go through the 8 categories of your life. So, scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category? And we're gonna start with health and fitness. All right, so when you think about health and fitness, for those of you who've been in the Cruise Beyond Limits world for a while, you know that we have 4 main non-negotiables when it comes to our health and fitness. And those are sleep, hydration, nutrition, and movement. Sleep, hydration, nutrition, movement. Sleep, hydration, nutrition, movement. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would highly recommend you think about how are you doing in these areas of your life? Okay, so when it comes to sleep, hydration, nutrition, and movement under health and fitness. Okay, so how a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this area of your life? No judgment. We're here just to check the oil, check in the engine. That's it. All right. And what is one top desire for you in this category? So maybe it's focusing in more on sleep. Maybe it's being more consistent in your workouts. Remember the Cruise Beyond Limits workouts at 30 minutes, including warm up and cool down, no equipment, no excuses, no fancy studio in the No Matter What Club. So best accountability and support. And so that you can stay consistent and achieve the energy and that you want. So how will achieving this desire make you feel? And if we're talking about nutrition, I know that, especially after the holidays, we're eating a lot of comfort foods, a lot of sweets, a lot of sugar. I had a couple zits this week. Lots of sugar, right? So how does that make you feel, right? And so how does adding more vegetables or adding more water into your routine and eating the foods that you know are going to serve you instead of the things that are giving you a stomach ache, like cheese or French fries or all the things, right? Or maybe a lot of red meat. I know we've been eating a lot of red meat. That causes some inflammation in me. A lot of carbs, a lot of mashed potatoes, right? The sandwiches, like everything that it just adds up. And especially if we're not moving our body, it's a combination of things. So do you want to feel lighter? How do you want to feel? Do you want to have more energy? And what's one action you can take to achieve the things that you desire? Right? One action, and just pick one. Doesn't have to be 10,000 things. All right, let's not create all these rules for ourselves. Just one thing in this category. Okay, so if you have a couple things, that's okay. But I want you to highlight. I love my highlighter. I've been highlighting books a lot lately, so I've been carrying this highlighter around. It's been great. So highlight in your notes because the brain likes colors, right? Unless you're colorblind, but the brain likes to see colors and highlights. So it shows you where on the page you need to focus or turn back to. Okay. So I highly recommend using some colors to help highlight what you want to focus on. All right. So that's your health and fitness. All right. So here's the access to the No Matter What Club if you haven't seen this already. And just so you know, we do have a referral program too. So if you are already in the No Matter What Club in the community, you can actually earn commission if you get other people to join. So it's a really great opportunity for you to save some money and also share the Cruise Be Unlimited's way. All right. So if you have any questions on that, let me know. I'll get you access. Here is the picture of me when I won that Instagram contest at that conference, the veteran entrepreneur conference. So the word says not the quote is nothing is impossible. The word itself says I am possible. And it is possible if you go after your dreams and you say what you want to achieve. Like, y'all, like I had never even been to a retreat. I had never even posted anything on Instagram that was my own thoughts. I posted other people's quotes, other people's pictures, other people's memes, other people's ideas, and I hid behind that. And I just had a conversation with Eliana on the break about stepping onto stages and how I stepped onto stages as a dancer and as a performer my whole life. So I was so fearful to use my voice on a stage because it was unfamiliar. I was like, who's going to listen to me? And oh, I actually have my own quotes. Like people are quoting me now. People are reading my books. And that never would have happened if I didn't open up my mouth and I didn't reach outside my comfort bubble and step on that stage and say what I wanted to achieve. And it was scary. And I posted the selfie and I said on social media, this is what I want to do. I want to host a retreat for female veterans, all sponsored, and have an incredible team that supports me of female veterans and military spouses. How cool is that? That dream became a reality because I said it out loud and I said it proud. And I put it out there. And I kept going after it. So nothing is impossible. The word itself says, I am possible. Even if you've never achieved it, like when I wrote my first book, I knew one person at that time because I wasn't around the right network. I knew one person that had written a book. One. She was my first business coach, Tatiana Amico. My first business coach. She was the only one that I ever knew that self-published a book. So I reached out to her. I said, how did you write your book? And she gave me a couple tips and I did it. But I had to reach out and say, hey, I want to do what you're doing. So if you love what I'm doing or you have a mentor or someone that is doing what you love, spend more time with them. Get on the phone with them. Get on Zoom with them and say, hey, I want to do what you're doing. How do I get there? Show me all the ways. Speaking of which, let's get into career and work because your mentors and the people that you admire, there's something within them that you see in yourself. So on a scale of 1 to 10, career and work, or maybe in your business or your life's work or your passion project, figure out what this means. Like maybe you're working at a job right now and you're feeling like you're at like a 1 or a 2 because there's this passion project that you really want to do. It doesn't really quite pay your bills, but it makes you come alive. How can you do both? Or how can you monetize the thing that makes you come alive? Or how can we balance out our time and energy? And this is a lot of work that we do in the Million Dollar Body Academy as we start to sort out our energy pie. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you think about your career and your work or your life's purpose or your business. How happy are you in this category? What's one top desire you have in this area? Maybe it's retiring this year. I retired in 2024 after 22 years in the military. That's a huge life decision. To make that transition in your career, in your life's work, it becomes our identity, right? So it is a huge decision. And so we must not take it lightly. So if there's something that you want, and we spend most of our time doing our life's work, right? So your career, your work, your business, your passion projects, right? This is where we spend the most time, not always with our families. So we better make this good. How can you thrive in 2025 in the work that you do to make you come alive and feel like you are feeling purposeful, driven, passionate, alive, and thriving? So you get to design it. Everyone's like, how do you do, what is this like fitness business that you do? Crystal, you do so much. I'm like, I get to do this because I figured out in 2017 when I moved away from everything I knew, I had to start from scratch. I was broke. I had no job. I moved away from my friends, my family, everything I knew. And I had to ask myself the question, what can I do with what I've got? How can I monetize what I enjoy doing? I love fitness. I love helping people improve their lives and in seasons of change and bounce back. And I love community. I love travel. And I love sharing my message. So why did I not put it all together and build a business around it? Ding, ding, ding. Right? And how does that make me feel? It makes me feel alive that I get to help and plant seeds to help support other people's dreams. And I get to do this right here with you, right here in real life. I never feel like I'm working a day in my life because I'm constantly in alignment of pursuit of what sets my soul on fire for my life's purpose and my career, my passion. And yes, I've monetized it. But this is my life's work. Right? So I don't clock in and clock out. This is a 24/7 operation, my friends. So how will you take action to achieve what you desire? Right? So what's one small thing that you can do in the next 7 days to get you just a little bit closer? And that might mean, did you apply for a job that you need to send a thank you note to? Do you want that promotion? Maybe you need to stop, working so much overtime so you can spend more time with family. And hopefully at the end of this exercise, you can see how some of the things are going to balance out. And maybe where we're pouring too much into our work, perhaps, where we need to spend some more time in our faith or in our relationships or in our leisure. Right. So we're going to see how this all kind of balances out. So speaking of which, relationships are next. So a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category, this area of your life? And so when you think about your relationships, I want you to think about your Fab 5 relationships. Okay. So number 1, the relationship you have with yourself. Everyone always thinks about their spouse or their children first. I want you to think about number 1 on your Fab 5 is the relationship you have with yourself. Are you dating yourself? Are you giving yourself date yourself. Take yourself on a date. Dress up, get pretty, make yourself pop, whatever, that pop of color, that fancy dress, take yourself on a date every once in a while. You get to date yourself. Take yourself on a trip. Take yourself on a hike. Go to the movies. Go sit at dinner. Table for one, please. I've been doing it. It's actually quite empowering. So number 1, the relationship with yourself. Number 2, 3, 4, and 5 are the people that you spend the most time with. Okay. So 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that might be your children, your spouse, maybe a coworker, a boss, someone that you really want to focus on those relationships in. Okay. So really map this out of like, okay, I want to improve my relationship with my spouse or my children or my grandchildren, right? Or my sister or my brother or a friend, right? So this isn't just about family. This is about improving the lives of your coworkers, maybe your family, extended family, business partners. Okay. And what's one thing you can do in this area in the next 7 days? All right, we're going to pause for a brief video.
It's just, there's all this pressure, you know? And
Yeah.
sometimes it feels like it's right up on me and I can just feel it, like literally feel it in my head, and it's relentless. And I don't know if it's going to stop. I mean, that's the thing that scares me the most, is that I don't know if it's ever going to stop.
Yeah. Well, you do have a nail in your head.
It is not about the nail.
Are you sure? Because, I mean, I'll bet if we got that out of there...
Stop trying to fix it.
No, I'm not trying to fix it. I'm just pointing out that maybe the nail is causing...
You always do this. You always try to fix things when what I really need is for you to just listen.
Yeah, see, I don't think that is what you need. I think what you need is to get the nail
See, you're
out.
not even listening now.
Okay, fine. I will listen. Fine.
It's just, sometimes it's like there's this achy, I don't know what it is. And I'm not sleeping very well at all. And all my sweaters are snagged. I mean, all of them.
That sounds really hard.
It is. Thank you. Ow!
Come on, if you would just...
Don't.
Try to see things my way. Do I have to keep on talking till I can go on? We can work it out. We can work it.
So that's one of the videos that I like to share in some of my relationship remodels and my emotional intelligence classes. So often we can see the nail, we can see other people's blind spots of what they want, what they need to do in their life. We can see other people's really, really quickly. And so often they can't always see what is actually right in front of them. All right. And so when it comes to relationships, we really want to fix people a lot. And we want to shorten that time period of self-doubt and overwhelm. And that's what I want for you. Right. And I'm able to see a lot of people's blind spots. And that's why I do the work that I do. I'm very intuitive and very passionate about helping shape your new reality by seeing your blind spots and offering support, and so that you can take a look in the mirror and see that nail that's sticking outside your head. But when you think about relationships and surrounding yourself with other relationships, we're not just always fixing, right? We want to help have more compassion and empathy and listen. Not everyone wants to be fixed, right? So, but that's what we want to do. We want to like just fill the air. And so I hope that was a really good reminder to have more empathy, because everyone's got a nail sticking out the side of their head and everyone's navigating this difficult thing called life. And everyone is carrying a heavy load of all of these 8 pillars of their life. And so the more that you do this work, the more that you're able to see other people's nails that are sticking outside their head. And hopefully you can have more love and compassion and empathy and meet people where they're at, to get curious and ask more questions and have more depth to your conversations around, hey, what is it that's missing in your life? And so what is that nail that keeps nagging at you, that you is snagging all your sweaters? If your family members or your friends or your Fab Five is constantly complaining about one thing, and I'll tell you, I did this reflection for me, in my relationship with myself. What is the one thing that keeps snagging all my sweaters? I know that one thing that I'm going to work on next year. There's one thing. So what is that one thing? You can ask yourself, what is the one thing that's snagging all your sweaters? Let's bring it to light so you can see that nail that's inside your head. And if you need support in this area, I'm happy to help you. That's why the power of community is so powerful. All right. And if you can dream it, you can do it. So Walt Disney quote, I love this quote. And this was the Reiki Marathon back in 2013, I believe. One of my favorite marathons is the Reiki Marathon. Finished right on the ocean. There's that smile and the way that I said I was going to finish that race. I think I spent about 5 hours on that course, 5.5 hours on that course to finish that marathon. It was god awful hot. I stopped to have dance parties, and then they had these misting tents because it was so hot. I almost missed the bus that day because my roommates that I was staying with in Jamaica went out and were, gallivanting all hours of the night. So I was worried about them. I was up all night, and I think I fell asleep about 30 minutes before I was supposed to wake up. And so it was a really rough course, but I'll tell you, it was my most favorite marathon. And I knew I was going to finish just like that because I set myself up. I begged the bus driver to take me there after I missed the bus. And I was like, I am finishing this marathon strong. And there it is. So that's one of my favorite marathons, favorite places to visit in Jamaica. So I'm actually looking at a retreat location in 2025 there at Jamaica. So you might see a Jamaica retreat location in 2026. So stay tuned. All right. So this is another powerful mentor of mine. His name's Trent Shelton. I really want to empower you with this message, and then we'll continue the second half.
I just got a question for you. A question that changed my life. A question that made me step up to the plate. A question that made me be everything that I was created to be. And that question I want to ask you is this: why not you? I know we always ask, why me? Why has this happened to me? Why do I have to go through all this? Why is all these things leaving my life, all this struggle coming in my life? Why not you? Why not you be the one to take all that struggle, all that pain, all that loss, and build that into strength? Build that into something special. Build that into greatness. Why not you be the one out of your family that does something incredible with their life? Why not you be the one that comes from your city and your neighborhood that takes their life to a level only people dream of going? Why not you be the one to make it, to start that business, to do the impossible, to do what people don't even think that anybody could do? Why can't it be you? You know, what I'm doing today with my life and with Rehab Time is the impossible for a lot of people. At one point, it was the impossible for myself. But one day I woke up and said, why not me? I said, forget my imperfections, forget all these negative things that are going on in my life, forget the negative thoughts that are going on in my mind. I said, you know what? I'm gonna conquer my struggle. I'm gonna step up and I'm gonna be that person that I know deep down inside I could be. And I started saying, it's on me. So you watching this video right now, it's on you. You can be the one. You can be the one that gives people hope. You can be the one that people look up to. You can be the one to show people that it is possible, to show people that it is achievable, to show people there is a next level. Make that be you. You be the one. You hear me? Stop sleeping on your life. Stop pressing snooze. Stop doubting yourself. Stop waiting till the perfect time to do something, and go be the one. Why not you? Like I said in every single video, it all starts with you. It's Rehab Time. Let's get it.
So I listened to Trent. I actually was able to meet him last year in New York City. And it was a really powerful moment to be able to meet some of the people that, you know, your mentor that has changed your life and impacted your life in so many ways. And it's really cool for him to show me what was possible. And in the depths of, you know, some of the hardest times of my life, he's got me out. And he gets to show me what's possible so that I can do the same. Right. And so you get to do the same. It's the ripple effect of your leadership, of you showing up powerfully for you to be able to show others what's possible. And I was listening to his podcast this morning on my run, and he had the 3 W's. So I just want to share this with you. If you don't listen to his podcast, it's the Trent Shelton podcast. And then also, side note, we have the Crystal Clear Life podcast as well that launched on this year. That's another one of my celebrations. But his podcast, he had the 3 W's. So we have 3 parts of you. And I just want to share this before we go into your quality of life and your reputation. And so the 3 W's, there's 3 parts of you. There's 3 pieces of people inside of you. We have the people that wish, the wishers. So you have a part of you that is wishing that you had this different life, that wishes that you could do the things that you wanted to do. So the wishers and the wanderers. And then we have the watchers, the people that just watch other people and compare and scroll, right? So there might be parts of you that are just scrolling and saying, that's not for me, or, you know, I'll never get there. You're watching other people. You're watching. And then you're wishing, and then you're wishing and waiting and wondering and wishing and waiting and watching and wishing and waiting, watching. And then there's the 3rd W. What do you think the 3rd W is? The worker. So there's parts of you that are working. You're working on your family, you're working on your business, you're working on other things, but there's parts of you that is not working. You're wishing and wanting and wondering and waiting. You're doing all the other W's and not doing the work. The working is the action. the messy action, the scary action, the courageous action, the resilient action, the action moving forward. The work works when you do the work. So before we go into the quality of life and your reputation, I want you to think, which part of you is wishing, wondering, waiting, watching, and when can we have some more working? How can we have some more working in this area of our life? Stop wishing and wondering and waiting, watching other people do the things that you know you can do. Start working at it one step at a time, one rep at a time, one round at a time, one day at a time, one conversation at a time, or 1 mile at a time, one light post at a time. Those of you who know my story, I spent 6 months in a wheelchair in the middle of my NFL career. 6 months, I was told I was never going to be able to walk again without endless amounts of medication. And I got up, I crawled out of that wheelchair, I started walking, and then I started running. And here I am 26 marathons later in a 50-mile race, and I don't even take ibuprofen to this day. How does that happen? Because I wasn't wishing, wondering, waiting, and watching. I was doing, I was working every single day like my life depended on it, because it did. Okay, so when you think about your quality of life and your reputation, I know I'm getting deep, but I'm so passionate. I want you to make a move this year. I want you to thrive in 2025. We're not meant to do this life alone. And I want to share this with you. And I'm telling you, this work works when you do the work. And I have evidence to prove it. And there's so many people in the Cruise Beyond the Limits world that have been doing this work and consistently doing this work and seeing massive, massive results. So quality of life and reputation, when you leave the room. So this isn't just about a white picket fence and your fancy car or the dream house. I'll tell you, I sold my penthouse suite, 3 bedrooms and a luxury condo, and I sold everything we owned. I packed it up into 10 suitcases and moved to a tiny 1-bedroom place on the beach in the ocean in Puerto Rico. And I have a 1999 Nissan minivan, and I have fruit on my backsplash. Okay, like, and I've never been happier. So the quality of life. What's wrong with fruit on the backsplash?
1975.
Yes, 1970s called.
Want your
They
backsplash
they
back.
want their backsplash back, right? But I'll tell you, at first it was challenging because I'm used to the luxury. I had a Range Rover, I had the beautiful penthouse suite, I had all these fancy things. What I thought my quality of life and like my reputation, what my identity was, all that was gone in an instant. And so I've had to reshape the quality of life. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you? And what are your measures of success in your quality of life? Right? I live in a place that has put me outside my comfort bubble. They don't even speak English. And PR, Puerto Rico, stands for patience required. And Erin, you've been in my house. Darling, you've all been in my house. Right? Erin, I actually have a couch now and a full bed. So Erin came to my house back in March, before the cruise. I was like in the depths of despair. I literally looked like a dorm room. I had nothing, right? And Erin, she slept on a air mattress in my living room, and we just met, and we just had some beautiful, like, it just was so raw and just so beautiful. And that was the way that we started a relationship. If she's like, oh, you don't have a bed for me, or you don't have, like, it just was, we're like, this is what it is, here we go. And I'm just so grateful for those moments and that time together. So thank you. So when you think about your quality of life and your reputation, on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you really? And what do you really need? And when you think about your reputation, when people leave, what is the impact? When you leave the room, what do people say about you? How do you want to be remembered? Do you want to be influential? Do you want to be charismatic? Do you want to be positive? Or do you want to be that negative Nancy, or like, woe is me all the time, or that negative person, right? So think about, what is your reputation? How do you want to impact the lives of others? When you leave the room, what do you want them to say about you? What is that top desire for this category? And maybe it is getting your dream house. Maybe it is getting the dream car, or that fancy bag, or the red bottom shoes. No shame in that game, okay? That you have goals that you have milestones that you want to accomplish. That's okay. If you want to buy another car, my dad loves to collect cars. He's got another car. You can only drive one at a time. Just like my bathing suits. I have a bathing suit collection because I live on the beach. Bathing suits and activewear. I can only wear one at a time, but I like to collect them. All right. So, what is your top desire? What would achieving this make you feel? And how are you going to take action? So that might mean starting a group. That might mean, like getting around other, groups, other networking groups, showing up, going on the cruise, right? What a quality of life, traveling more, like getting around the right people in the right places, in the right spaces to fill your cup, to be present in the moment, to have the quality of life of freedom. I think if you were to think about what is freedom to you, maybe it's finances, maybe it's freedom of choice, where you're living, what you're doing, how you're working, who you're around. That freedom of alignment and aliveness, I think, is what we're all going after in our own special way. So when you think of maybe it's a quality of life, maybe it's after retirement, maybe that's next step. And so we're going to move on to our social life. So we've talked a lot about our career, our health and fitness. And some of you are like, what social life? What are you talking about? I don't have a social life. Okay, so that's okay. We're going to start scale of 1 to 10. How happy are you? And what is your top desire? So when it comes to social life and leisure, that might mean taking a trip. It might mean hiking or biking or, doing a book club or starting your own club or, reaching out to the friends or maybe your sisters. My mom has 3 sisters, right? They get together for every one of their birthdays. And so here's an idea, right? They say, okay, it's, Aunt Candy's birthday this weekend, right? And so she gets to pick the adventure that all 4 sisters go on. And that's really cool. Right? So each sister gets to pick their adventure and all 4 sisters go, and well, 3, whoever's here in Buffalo, but that's something that they've committed to in their relationship to bring some social and maybe physical activity to pour into that relationship and into that social life. So maybe you have a friends group. You want to meet once a month. Maybe you like Cynthia, you love crafting, maybe you have a couple people that you want to write out Christmas cards in the fall. Like you have a tradition that maybe in like November we all do Christmas cards, or in February we write out Valentine's for our favorite Valentines. I don't know. Pick something that you can have more fun in social life. And this doesn't mean it has to be in person. There's a whole virtual space that you can do. And the Cruise Beyond Limits world, we have a lot of different accountability. We have a prayer group. We have other challenges that we're doing. There's always something that's going on in the Cruise Beyond Limits world. So if you need a community and you want some social life, you want some friends to travel to, we're here for you too. So think about your social life and your leisure. This is a part of us because we're all a bunch of big kids, right? We want to be social. We want to fun. We want to have fun. We want to just like kick back and laugh and enjoy, maybe go to a comedy show or go watch a movie, check out, right? And just be. That's a part of our life and what we need. We need to just be and have fun. And so here is the Revive and Thrive retreat I mentioned earlier. So if you want a combination of a women's wellness retreat with fitness, wellness, personal development, relationships, your quality of life and your reputation, faith, find everything, a holistic approach to really spend some time. We spend 7 days together. We're just here for a short time here. We have a couple options to work together after today and in 2025, but this retreat is an incredible experience. So I highly encourage you or some of your loved ones. There is a referral program for this as well. So if you invite friends and family, you can save some money, get some money back, whatever. If you have a friend, there's some bonuses there. Fitness is included in this, so you get 3 months free of fitness included leading up to your retreat experience. So super excited for what's to come in 2025. So we have 2 options in Puerto Rico and Costa Rica. All right, so we're almost done. So we have a couple left. We have our spirituality. So I know I shared, I've been on a faith journey. I know Cynthia shared that was one thing that she was excited about. Her success in 2024 is growing in her relationship and her faith. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category? Now, when we think about faith, it doesn't always have to be church or your, really, your relationship with God or whatever you believe in, universe, spirit. It can also be your values. So if you set core values, for instance, like, family, connection, purpose, passion, teamwork, right? If you have core values in your life, how are you living those core values? How are you living your own brand? In the Cruise Beyond Limits world, we have faith, fitness, family, and fun. Those are the 4 core values of Cruise Beyond Limits: faith, fitness, family, and fun. So I reflect every single day. How am I doing in these areas, in these core values? So how am I living out my brand? How am I living in the brand of faith, fitness, family, and fun? Right? So if spirituality or God in church doesn't resonate with you, think about your core values and score yourself in those core values. How are you living in those core values, and what's missing, and what can we do to kind of help implement some healthy balance? So how would achieving this desire make you feel? And what's one action you can take in the next 7 days? I know for me, like when I'm home as in Puerto Rico, I would make sure that if I am there present on the island, I try to attend church in person every Sunday. So that has been something that I focused on in 2024. And I was like 99.9999999%. That was like a 9 out of 10 in this category this year. I'm really proud of that. Right. And so I'm here feeling very proud and more connected and more present in my relationship. Right. And doesn't mean you have to go to church, but if you don't spend that time and if you don't dedicate that time, then how are we implementing, how are we improving in this area, in this category? Right. So make sure you're spending that time, whether you're home or, if you say you're going to dedicate the time, dedicate the time and do what you say you're going to do, right? So the next one, be faithful to what exists within you. This was finishing at the Buffalo Marathon with the flag. That was beautiful. Or no, this was Buffalo.
Yeah, that was Buffalo.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah. I thought it was the Air Force Marathon for a second there.
Oh wait, you know what? It is the Air Force Marathon.
No, that's Buffalo. No, that's Buffalo. Anyways,
It's beautiful.
be faithful to what exists within you. You have the power. I don't know who said that. You have the power. You have the power that's within you, right? Everything, you have all the tools, right? So we need to take action, messy action now. Don't wait till you have that next career. Don't wait till you have that next course. Don't wait till you collect more things. Take action now. All right. So you have all the tools. Think about, like, what can I do right now with what I've got? Let's not make it perfect. Let's take messy action today. Be faithful to what exists that's already within you. All the experience, all the education, all the lived experience, the life experience, all the things that you've been through and grown through and learned from. You have the power right now. All right. So personal development. When we think about personal development, this is how are we learning more about ourselves? How are we unpeeling the onion? How are we unpeeling the layers? So with personal development, we want to say, like, this might be reading, might be attending workshops. Hey, you're here, right? You're here attending this vision board workshop. We do this quarterly, every 3 months, right? So how are you continuing momentum to learn more about yourself? This year, I got certified. I started I did 2 things. Well, I did 3 things. I did a coaching program first, Goddess coaching program in January. In April, I started a therapy certification. So trauma-informed therapy. It's a whole year program. So I'm halfway through that. So if anybody wants to have a conversation about that, many of you have already had a session with me. but I have a certain amount of clinical hours that I need to complete my certification. So if you want to have that conversation, it helps us reassociate and have the mind-body connection to our core memories and some of the stress and anxiety that we carry, and help to understand where some of that is coming from. So that's what I've been working through this year, learning about excavating. I call it a whole life excavation of understanding patterns and learning about my lived experience and how it shows up in the present day. So this is what all about personal development is. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how happy are you in this category? And what's one top desire? So that might mean listening to more podcasts, the reading more books. Like in my my habit tracker every day, I say I'm going to read for 10 minutes every day. So that's my goal. Read for 10 minutes, right? And how will this make me feel? I will feel smarter. I'll feel more connected. I will feel like I'm learning something. I'm unpeeling more. I'm getting more curious. And we're staying more relevant, right? Maybe it's current events, or maybe something that you want to learn about, or a new passion that you have. So this is all about personal development. This is like, okay, are you going to go on the cruise this year? I've already booked for the San Juan Social Club cruise in March, right? And then I also have other goals for conferences that I want to attend, right? That are going to help me elevate in business, in fitness, in life, in my faith. I'm taking a mission trip this year when it comes to faith. Like I'm doing a mission trip in January with my church. It's a 5-day trip in Puerto Rico. So we don't have to go anywhere. It's in my local community. So I feel like I'm giving back to my local community. So that's part of personal development as well. Okay. And what's one action you can take? And that might mean, hey, come to the Revive and Thrive retreat. Like, right? Let's have a conversation. Or book that trip, book that conference. Think about, okay, if you want to learn more about nursing, or you want to learn more about, I don't know, being a travel agent or speaking or being a business owner, like look for events that are going to help you learn and develop your depth of knowledge and understanding and network. If you want to be an author, like we have the book writing retreat in Puerto Rico in May, right? You leave with your first draft in 5 days. Okay. So there's the retreat again. I won't bore you with, this is beautiful, actually.
Mountains, bring it to his feet. Woo, mountains. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
All right, so there is that. So if you want access and you're interested in the retreat, we would love, love, love to have you there and treat you like the queen that you are. So last one is going to be finances. And then I want to open it up to some connection and celebration here. On a scale of 1 to 10, now finances are really some of the things that people don't want to talk about. How happy are you in this category of your life? And when you think about finances, a lot of times people think about their debt. Dun, 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 debt, right? And so I would love to think about, if you're saying like, I want to get out of debt, and you wrote that down, how can you reshape that phrase to say, I want more financial freedom. I want more financial abundance. When we say debt, it has like such a negative connotation. I want to invest in myself and my health. So when we think about investing, when we think about personal development or our health and fitness or attending the retreat or, writing the book, it's an investment, right? So often we think about our expenses and our finances and our debt, and it's like, ooh, it's bad. But how can you reshape it to say, hey, I'm investing in the next level version of me, and I'm worth it, and it's worth it. And everything that you've invested in has given you the strength and the ability and the experience and the depth and the networking that has gotten you this far. So you know that there's evidence in investing in yourself. So it's just a shape of perspective of like, how do you want to invest in the next level version of you? So when you think about your finances, how can we move things around? One of the things is like, maybe it's less Starbucks. If your daily Starbucks bill is $10 to $15 a day, or maybe sometimes more, and you're like a 50, right? So like it adds up fast, friends. So if you want to you want to go to the retreat, maybe or you want to invest in a fitness program, or you want to attend a trip, or whatever that is, you want to hire a coach, you want to hire me, right? Maybe it's a couple less trips to Starbucks, or maybe we cook at home. We don't go out to eat so much, right? So think about how you can move your finances around, or to save to go after your dreams, save for that trip, so that you can do what you really, really enjoy. So this is remember, we're just opening up the hood, no judgment, no blame, no shame, no guilt. It's just like, what do we want for our life? Maybe it's less Amazon trips. I know I'm like guilty of that, or Temu or Shein, right? It's like that stuff adds up because it's so cheap, right? But then it's like a couple $100 later, you get a whole big box of stuff that shows up at the door, and you're like, did I really need that fourth sweater of the exact same color and the exact same? Maybe, maybe not.
I got like 4 shirts.
I look at Emma, she got like 4 shirts, the exact same one in all different colors. But we need them, right? Or do we? Right? So we have to decide the balance, right? Okay, so finances is the last one. So progress over perfection. A beautiful thing is never perfect. Real life experience right there. Nothing is ever perfect, right? So show up, progress over perfection, one day at a time. Take the messy action, no matter what. All right, it doesn't have to look perfect. Okay, so I want us to go through. So the 4 R's is, what can you reduce, what can you release, what can you revive, and what can you relax? And I want the 5 to thrive is, I didn't put it on the slides. But I want you to think about, you can take a screenshot of this and map this out of what you want to reduce, release, revive, or relax. And then I want you to think about your 5 to thrive goals. So what are 5 things that you want to accomplish, or really focus on and consistently show up for? So when you think about all 8 pillars of your life, I want you to highlight 5 categories, 5 things that you want to really focus on and plant seeds every single day. So for me, I'll share my 5 to thrive goals. So I want to be consistent in my podcast, y'all. I actually launched my podcast August 27th on my 41st birthday. Oh shoot, I'm 29. On my 29th birthday. And after that, I actually struggled in some of the editing. So I have a lot of content and a lot of episodes that I haven't published yet. So that's one thing that I kind of put on pause, and I'm going to revive in 2025. So that's my 5 to thrive. So my podcast, being consistent in that. So it's the Crystal Clear Life podcast. So stay tuned for that and help hold me accountable. So I'm putting it on there so it's an intention that I'm staying in the forefront of my brain. Secondly, I'm going to open a retreat center. So I've been hosting these retreats for over 3 years. It's my 4th year, and I always rent different spaces. And so one of my goals is to invest in a retreat center and a property where is actually my own, which I'm really excited about. The third one is stages, getting on more physical stages. So if you have a conference, you know someone who needs a motivational speaker, needs some Cruise Beyond Limits, needs some Crystal Aura in their life, please, please, please send my name, refer me, send me the event or the conference, and I want to travel to more in-person stages this year. Next up, my membership for the fitness membership. The next goal is to have over 100 people in that membership. And then also the last thing in 2025, I'm going to be launching more business boot camps. So a lot of my clients and a lot of people in my world are like, how do I start a business? How do I do what you do? And I'm going to help people start their businesses in 2025. So think about your 5 to thrive goals in 2025. They're going to help you thrive and come alive. All right. So if you want help taking action, here again is my information. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to celebrate you as you take this messy action and you keep showing up no matter what. So what's next? We're going to bring this alive. All right. So you can, I want you to think about where you're going to put, how you're going to make it come alive, what it looks like. It can be messy. It can just be a whiteboard on your refrigerator. It can be pretty pictures. Spend some time, do this with family or loved ones. Have the conversations about your dreams and goals and make them become a reality. All right. And I want you to post it somewhere. All right. So remember, we're retraining our brain. We say, hey, brain, you wanted this, remember? You see this every single day. I want you to look at it at least once a day, once in the morning, once in the evening. All right. And the doubts are coming in. The negative Nelly, the negative Nancy says you shouldn't do that, or you're not cool enough, or you're not fit enough, or you're not fast enough, or you don't have enough follow. Screw all that. Whoa. That's noise. Okay. Write it down, destroy that paper. This is a family show. Is that a bad word? Oh, sorry, it's a bad word. Okay, stop that noise. You're in control. All right, you decide to design the life that you desire. And lastly, I want you to celebrate. I want you to document your success, document your progress. All right, and the definition of bragging is celebrating yourself and putting someone else down in the same sentence. So if you find yourself going to celebrate and you're like, yeah, no, I don't know what people are going to think of me. They're going to think I'm bragging. No, keep doing it. Keep showing up because you get to show others what's possible. All right. And the only reason why I reached out to Tatiana to write my book when I wanted to was because she posted on the internet that she was launching her book. And if she didn't post it because she thought everyone else would judge her or think that she's bragging, then I wouldn't have written my 5 books. And Darlene wouldn't be writing her book if I didn't put that out there. And if I didn't share that I'm having another book writing retreat, I wouldn't have people that are filling those seats and writing their book and putting their message out to the world and writing their speeches and getting on their stages and impacting the world with their message. So keep showing up no matter what and celebrate. All right, you get to design the life that you desire, and every single day is a blank page. And that, my friends, is your thrive in 2025. So I love this quote. The universe likes speed. Don't delay. Don't second guess. Don't doubt. When the opportunity is there, when the impulse is there, when the intuitive nudge from within is there, act. That's your job. That's all you have to do is take action. Be the worker. Don't wish, don't wait, don't wonder. Be the worker. Take action today. And hopefully you came up with some small action steps that you can continue to plant seeds in all areas of your life today. So with that, I want to open it up. I'm going to stop sharing. Open it up for reflections, celebrations, thoughts, questions, comments. I'm going to check the chat. Famous for love. Oh, I love that. So beautiful. Anyone here care to share? Maybe one thing or your 5 to Thrive goals or something that you want to focus on? Say it out loud. Say it proud. You want to say it?
Yeah.
Want to come over? Uh-oh.
Again. Well, just I have lots, but for one thing, with my family, I want to try to save a little bit more money on things that we don't need, right? So that we can do some adventures. And the girls want to go to Panama City to visit their cousin. So we're going to work harder at accomplishing that, right? That's what we learned today. Starbucks could have 2 gift cards. Oh, we're going to use her gift cards for Starbucks. Okay. So then we'll try to save $40.
Woo-hoo. That's one trip.
That's one trip.
A half a trip.
Yes.
I love that. Where was Puerto Rico in that?
Poor Auntie.
Maybe next year. Maybe next year.
Yeah, it's almost.
I might not be there next year.
I'll be,
No expectations. All right.
I'll be there at least.
Yes, I know. Thank you for sharing.
Eventually.
Okay. Anybody else want to share?
I'm not gonna do it. Wait, shall I say it?
No? Okay. Al?
You want to share?
It's okay. Is there one thing that you want to focus on from all the areas of your life?
Actions speak louder than words. Do you want to share?
If you have
Is there
nothing,
something
that's
you want to
okay.
work on this year?
Yeah.
Sure.
Just coming over. Eliana, come on down.
Well, I will work on practicing being more nicer to my sister and my actions.
Any actions?
And I gotta think before I speak,
Ooh.
or else I'm gonna get an Emma talk again. I don't like when I go. Oh my god.
Okay.
Good job.
We call that emotional intelligence when we think before we speak. I think we could all take a lesson from that. All right. Anybody else? Darlene or Erin, you care to share any reflections? Something you want to say out loud and say it proud?
Um, I'm so grateful for you. I'm so grateful for you and that you're doing this. And it's really wonderful to hear that you do this every 3 months. So that I wrote that down that I want to get on that tracker, that what is it called? The rhythm for this year. So yeah, I think it was just an amazing starting point. And thank you for doing this even before the first. I feel like, oh my gosh, I'm like even thinking about it right now before we hit the first. So actually, I'm going to be working on this kind of as we go into New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. So thank you. I feel really set up to succeed.
I love that. Thank you for sharing. I feel like there's like that point after Christmas, like before New Year's, it's like this like dead space where you're like, what do we do? And so I thought this would be a really great time. So thank you for sharing that. And it can bring depth to our conversations at New Year's, right? We already know we're not like, I don't know what my resolutions are, what we're working on. We're already sinking it in. We have a couple days to really work through this. And I just appreciate you jumping in and being here with us today. And I'm excited for what's to come in 2025. And thank you for sharing that rhythm because even as a business owner, like we have to be on, like we have to stay relevant and focused and re-energized because we can get into like some slumps sometimes, right? And so and life can happen and a lot can happen in 3 months. So sometimes we got to re-energize. So excited to have you on board. Did you have something to say?
No.
No?
Let's just say hi.
Oh, she just wants to say hi. Get in.
Oh, hello.
This is Emma and Eliana.
I'll leave now.
Okay. All right. Darlene, do you have anything you want to share?
She wrote and she's
Grateful for our time, the wisdom shared, and excited to create and build. Love it. Awesome. Well, I want to honor your time. Thank you, ladies, everyone that has been here in real life, in person, and here virtually. If you are catching this on replay, just sending you so much love this holiday season. And I know that it can be a challenging time, and we have so many stressors and pressures, and we're pulled in 12,000 different directions. And I just want to remind you that you are not alone. And here in Cruise Beyond Limits, our beautiful Cruise Beyond Limits Dream Team and our beautiful community is here to support you. So if you're not sure what action to take, you're not sure what messy step to take next, the best thing that you can do is hop on a call. Let's book. You can go to crystalorcruise.com/book. I would love to hop on a call, hop on a Zoom with you, see how we can support you in the best way possible, give you the tools and resources so that we can create some action and motivation so we can thrive in 2025 and beyond. So thank you for taking the time. And I want to celebrate and honor each and every one of you for really dedicating this time for you. And you're sinking this into your being so that we can really set ourselves up for success. And I'm just so excited to be here and be on this life journey with you as your life tour guide and mentor. And please reach out. I'd love to hear from you. Make sure you're posting on social. If you did some screenshots or if you loved something that I shared today, please post it. Please share your reflections and celebrations. And remember, your definition of bragging is celebrating yourself and putting someone else down in the same sentence. So if you are not doing that because you're a loving, caring, giving soul, keep celebrating, keep showing up like your life depends on it. Show others what's possible and keep going out there and being great and sharing the love and the light and the snowflake and the beautiful strengths and gifts that you have that only you uniquely have. So I love you all. Have a great rest of your day. Happy New Year. And I can't wait to see all of you thrive in 2020. All of us. All right. I love you all. Cheers. Crispy on the Mitts.
Okay, let's not put in there now.